Hello, everybody. A very impromptu live here. We've got weather moving in, and that it didn't appear that this weather was going to be that strong. And suddenly, here in the last 20 or 30 minutes, we're picking up rotation as it's coming into West Cape Coral. There is no watches or warnings for this area, um, other than a special marine warning. So that's why I decided I would go live. I'm seeing things here that appear to be some kind of rotation.
12 Vision Departing 3 Delta 3.
It's probably going to be nothing, but I just wanted to go ahead and go live. This is going to go right over the studio here in just a few minutes. I am monitoring the NI4CE. I'm also monitoring fire radio for this area, and you'll be able to hear those as well. I'm also monitoring Wink News. They just went back live on their live coverage for their 10 o'clock news anyway. And I'm waiting to see what they've got going on with this. I'm very surprised that we don't at least have a watch up. But I'm going to show you guys what I have here. On the left, we've got high-res reflectivity. On the right, we got high-res velocity. What that means, on the left, we're looking at the amount of rain falling. On the right, we're looking at the direction of the rain. Okay, something just dropped. That's a special statement. Let's do that right now. Let's look at that. This just dropped 5 seconds ago. Wind gusts to 50 miles an hour. At 10:03 p.m. Eastern, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Cape Coral to 33 miles southwest of St. James City. Movement east at 25 miles an hour. Wind gusts to 50 expected. Radar indicated gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations impacted include St. James City, Page Park, Punta Rassa, East Dunbar, Fort Myers, Villas, Matlacha, Fort Myers, Tice, Pomona Park. It's real easy when you're doing your area because you know how to pronounce everything. Isn't that awesome? Harlem Heights, Loch Morris, States, Gateway, Iona, Cypress Lake. It's going to basically come through the whole area here as we're going to watch this. But that is the light blue box that you see there. Still no tornado or severe thunderstorm warnings, but we are seeing some fairly strong gusty winds along this. It looks like it's come down just a little bit in the last few minutes. But all along here, I'm showing you guys by drawing on here, all along here, these are some very strong winds, and they're moving off to the east-northeast. So all areas of Lee County will see some of this, it looks like. We've got some, what could be small couplets, I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, I don't claim to be, I do play one on YouTube. But here we've got what looks like some rotation there, and possibly here and here. I mean, this all needs to be watched very closely. There's all kinds of spots that could be rotation up through here. And so that's why I decided I would go live, as this is literally just about to pass the studio here. I'm watching as my cats scatter outside on the security cameras as the rain starts to come in. We're also live on at Carlotta Alata. We've got our frog camera there, and that is up as well, monitoring with outside audio. Some of the stronger storms I'm looking at right now are going to be coming into the south part of Pine Island, which is St. James City. Also, South Cape, going to come right down the Parkway here in the next hour. Looks like it's right about Central Cape now. We've got what looks like some rotation in the clouds. Central Cape near...
36, Barclay Circle. Response on dispatch 2. Medic 1.
All right, they didn't say what that was. Okay, let's see here. And again up here, it looks like we might have some rotation. We are right over here in North Fort Myers. This is going to come right over the studio here in the next few minutes, literally in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We are monitoring fire for this area. We're also monitoring the NI4CE, which is the Skywarn amateur radio net for this area as well.
Medic 20, standby, at USA Corps. Respond on dispatch 1, Medic 20.
Okay, again, this is coverage, very impromptu, unscheduled coverage of a storm that's moving through my area right here. The worst of it is just about to reach my studio here. We've got some very strange things showing up on the radar that looks like it's trying to form some rotation. I am watching the local news. The weather section of that's coming up, so I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that, as well as watching radar Omega. I can start, the rain is starting to pick up on the outside of the studio. Again, monitoring the NI4CE, which is the Skywarn amateur radio channel that covers north of Clearwater all the way down to this area here. And so I'm monitoring that now to see if there's any traffic on there. I'm watching something here that's a little concerning. Over here on the left side, this is possibly a J-hook forming right here. And I'm looking at that. And this could be one here too. These are very suspicious, especially considering over here we see what could be a couplet right here forming. And up here where this one is, we see a couplet right here. So I can see these two areas and others. There's one here and there's one here, and all these areas are moving off. Oh, there's one right there too. That one's the one that's about to come over me right now. It's very, very close to the studio here. We are currently under a special marine warning. And we're also currently under a special weather statement here. No watches, no warnings. I don't know. I'm very concerned at this point about this, that there's no warnings or anything gone out for this. But they know what they're doing. They have, I guess, better equipment than we do. Although this radar Omega is pretty amazing, I gotta say. All right, we're using
17 lead control dispatch 2.
We're using the Tampa radar. Let me switch to the Miami radar and see what this thing looks like from the other side. Okay, and we are still seeing some of those signs of rotation in there, although it's definitely not as clear. Coming into downtown Fort Myers proper right now. They got one of their reporters out reporting, and she's getting blown around pretty good, but she's reporting on something that's not related to the weather. It's kind of funny. All right, let's let that go for a minute. I'm going to switch back to the Tampa radar because it gives us a much better view of what's going on. Yeah, look at the notches forming in this thing. There we go. We just got another frame in, and very strong line of thunderstorms about to come into Fort Myers Beach. I call them thunderstorms. There is a few strokes of lightning out there, but lightning is not the story. I think the story is going to be some pretty good winds coming through here in just a little while. I think that's going to end up probably being the story of the night. Is going to be the winds. All right, let's see. We're still seeing this whole choppy area running up this line here. I'm going to put this in motion for you so you can see what the whole area looks like here. Look at that. It's a crazy presentation on the radar, and you can see how it all just kind of rolls as it comes in here into the Fort Myers area. I'm going to bring you in here so you can now concentrate on just that area. Watch how this comes in. A very interesting presentation on the radar. Again, I don't think this is anything that's going to produce an actual ground tornado, but man, it could definitely produce something brief. It also could provide some straight line winds as well. All right, let me get this in studio mode. Since I'm going to stay with this coverage for just a little while, I'm going to get this into studio mode so that I can go and look at what else we have available here. No. Okay, let me go here. All right. stay with us, guys, I'm just trying to check all my sources for coverage here.
All units busy on scene. Suspending status check 2212. Medic 17.
Okay, there's that, and again, I'm gonna turn this back off of the rotating. I don't like that mode because it's kind of hard to analyze what we're looking at. All right, some of this is coming right over the studio here now, and I have to tell you guys, it's not that bad outside. It's just a moderate rain, maybe 10-mile-an-hour winds. Not really seeing a big, huge weather event like I thought, like it looks like on the radar. So maybe that's the good news. Is this isn't going to end up being quite the weather event it looks like. But that's why I said I wanted to go live just in case this turned into something, because it's very interesting how it's turning out. All right, I'm looking at webcams here and see what we got around the area. All right, give me just 1 second here. Let me pull up something. Like I said, guys, I normally prepare for broadcasts. I spend an hour putting it together and everything. And, of course, I didn't do that for this because I wasn't planning on doing this. It's one of those things. Oh, let's see. All right. You can see there that green. The green's getting brighter there. That's wind moving in either towards or away from the tower site at a pretty good clip right there. And then not far.
Cardiac arrest at 2031 Southeast 20th Lane. Up dispatch 2. Medic 1.
Yes, Bucky's here.
At 2031 Southeast 20th Lane. Respond on dispatch 2. Medic 4.
All right. Let me show you guys a quick shot here. This is coming from the tower cam across town there at Wink, the TV station. And look at that front coming there. That's not a cold front, but the actual storm front that you can see there with the shelf cloud going all the way across there. So we're going to be watching that shelf cloud pretty intently here. I'm going to keep it up on a side screen and keep watching to see if we can see what's going on here with this shelf cloud, if we can see anything poking down from it. But again, this is coming into the North Fort Myers area, and it's about to overtake downtown Fort Myers. What you're seeing there on the view, the buildings, the tall buildings on the left by the flashing red, those are over on McGregor, off of McGregor and off of West First Street. That's those buildings over there. The ones you see in the middle, those are the buildings around the Fowler Street Bridge there.
Q-Core to Engine 8, respond to a fire alarm at 3345 Grant Cove Circle, Building 4.
Yeah, there's a fire alarm at a building in the Cape. And then that building on the right, that begins the Beau Rivage and the Oasis and all those different high-rises along there.
2216 hours.
And then in the middle there is the three bridges. You've got the Caloosahatchee Bridge furthest away. And then closer you have the northbound and southbound spans of the Old 41 Bridge, which is it's a bunch of different names for it, but it ends up being Fowler Street on the north, and it's Tamiami Trail on the south. And where the word Tamiami comes from is Tampa Miami Trail. That's actually that was actually the wagon trail that went from Tampa to Miami, and that became US 41, and eventually Business 41, because New 41 was built to go around the town. And then the town moved over to the new road. You know how it works. It's kind of crazy. Look at that. Boy, that's a nasty storm front coming in here. Let's go back to the radar. Let me hold on. Let me pull this down here. Again, on the fly here, guys, on the fly. Let's go back to the radar and take a look at this. It's starting to rain pretty good here now at the studio. And I don't see as pronounced any pronounced rotation, but we do still see these areas of rotation. Looks like it's about to get you down there, Rick, right there. And there's a pretty strong one here, just going over. It came over the lighthouse on Sanibel, and now it's moving up in the strait there, just north of Fort Myers Beach. And it looks like Fort Myers Beach, that rotation may go right over the beach there. There looks to be some kind of rotation going on right there. And that's going to come pretty close to Fort Myers Beach as it goes. And I'm also seeing a J-hook here too. So you can see there your J-hook, and you can see your couplet right there. So this is concerning. This is going to come real close to Fort Myers Beach. And again, wondering why there's no alerts. There's no watches or warnings. We're under a severe weather statement, and that's it. Again, we're under a severe weather statement, and that's it. That's the weather statement. And that's the storm we're tracking right here. You can see all these different areas where we've got bright greens right up next to bright reds. This represents a lot of spinning and rotating in the atmosphere. And you can see all along here, we've got rotating all along this front, which is that same front that's just about to make it into downtown Fort Myers. Here, I can switch back and show you. There we go. That one's, you can see there, it's coming in. There does seem to be an angulated cloud there, but I don't think it's anything. But let's watch that for just a minute. We do have looks like it could be a lowering there in the clouds. But I don't think it's a tornado, but could be some kind of lowering in the clouds there that we're watching. And when we go back to radar Omega, you can actually see right here coming into Fort Myers. That camera we're looking at is right here, okay, and it's looking in this direction. So that's basically, it's looking out towards Cape Coral. That's that camera that we're looking at right now, and that lowering it's about to go over the tower site right now. It looks like.
2220 hours.
I do not have a chat room up. Let me go ahead and endeavor to pull a chat room up so that I can see if you guys. I'm sorry if you've been talking to me out there. Let me see where the hell I'm at. I don't even have a thumbnail for this yet. Oh, hey, Peggy's in. Carlotta's in. 45 unit. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that lighthouse, man, it's a trooper. It actually, Ian took out one of the legs of it, and it still stands. They've replaced the leg now, and it does still stand. Hey, Carlotta, my wife, who's up in further north up in Tampa tonight. And yeah, baby, we actually thought the rain was over down here, and we're getting a bit of our ass kicked right now.
Engine 61, electrical hazard. 8606, Beacon Street. Respond over South Street. Engine 61.
That rain's overtaking downtown now. You can see there on the left, in the background there, it's reached the blinking tower. That blinking tower, by the way, is our Long Lines Tower. Those of you watching parade coverage, you'll remember I showed you that same tower from downtown. That's also where our 220 megahertz repeater is located for the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club. And also, again, used to be our Long Lines Tower, still on the Century 21 building, or the CenturyLink building, I'm sorry. You can see the wind on the tower site by the way that the water is being pushed across the lens there. You can kind of see that there's some wind there at the tower site. Let's go back over to radar Omega again on the left. On the left side, you've got reflectivity, which tells you the amount of rain. And on the right, you have velocity, which tells you the speed of the rain. And that tells us where the tornadoes are. So both of these have the ability to kind of sniff out tornadoes. Now, down here in Florida, we don't get long track tornadoes. We don't get EF3s and 4s and all that. It's really rare in Florida to get over a 2. And so tonight, we're just, we watch these things because we still get a roof or 2 ripped off here and there. I've got amateur radio antennas all up in the air. We've got a tower site at 75 feet out in Buckingham. So we've got a lot of reasons to keep an eye on this stuff. But there you go. You can see the rain and the wind coming into downtown Fort Myers as we look out there on that westerly view there. And this is the tower cam at Wink TV, Wink News. Starting to get some pretty heavy rain here on the outside of the shack. And Babe already took care of that. I knew this was coming. That's already taken care of. The microphone is up underneath where the camera's mounted out there, so it's not getting the direct rainfall anymore. It got some rain earlier, but it seems to be okay. And everything that could get wet's pretty much up. I was well prepared for this one. All right, there we go. This was a very impromptu net. Look at that coming in, boy. I tell you, that's a lot of rain. And there's that mess right there coming into Fort Myers. And you can see a little bit what looks like it's trying to get something going here. Right as this is downtown Fort Myers right there. And you can see very, very heavy rainfall right now in the downtown Fort Myers area. And, of course, I can illustrate that by the view of downtown Fort Myers right there. We've got about 1 mile of visibility with the heavy rainfall as we are watching this view from downtown. This view is from east of downtown looking back to the west. And you can see there's some very... Yep. Well, you can really see the wind sheeting along there on that view. That's a great shot there from the tower cam. All right, let's go back here and take a look. What do we got? Everything's moved off to the east a little bit more, but still some very heavy rain and some heavy winds coming through downtown right now. We've got a moderate rainfall on the outside of the shack with wind gusts to about 16 or 17 miles an hour right now. So not too bad here. And again, we are under a special weather statement at this time. Doppler radar is tracking a strong thunderstorm along a line extending from Cape Coral in St. James City. This was a little while ago. That line has now progressed and goes from central South Cape Coral and all the way down in Fort Myers Beach, all the way up and extends up into Charlotte County out through Bayshore.
FBO's been notified their ETA at this time is 30 or less.
And yet there's a very suspicious pattern right there. That's going to be right now, looks like it's right about over Page Field, right in that area. Probably experiencing some fairly heavy winds right now, right in this area here. This is Page Field right there. That's a general aviation airport. We are now having heavy rainfall here at the shack. Heavy rainfall.
Medic 20 and Rescue 61, Delta, unknown medical, at 2185, Elton Court. Respond on dispatch 3, Medic 20 and Rescue 61.
Very heavy rain now at the shack here with gusty winds to about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Winds are out of the north and the west right now. We're variable north and west. Very, very heavy rain coming down now here at the shack. Wow. Guys, I really wasn't expecting this tonight. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I said, you know, I better keep the shack up just in case. That storm looks pretty nasty.
Rescue 112 and truck 102. Trauma at 207 Red Cliff Avenue. Respond on dispatch 2. Rescue 112 and truck 102.
Yep, lots and lots of choppy weather. Now we run into a problem now where some of the areas we need to see are going to be outside of the primary radar range. You can see the line here basically where the radar switches from one set of readings to the next. But we can still glean a lot of good information off this. That rotation that I was looking at did go right over Fort Myers Beach. I am, again, we're watching for anything to come up and let us know what's actually going on out on the beach. Let me see if I can get anything here. Wait just a second here and see what they're doing. All right. Again, guys, I'm just trying to get a few things going here. We're trying to see what other sources we have.
Copy medic 45, thank you.
This is Transport, Delta 37.
Transport 2229.
All right, guys, I am still here, again, trying to continue to figure this out here. You know how it is. All right. We're still watching this thing as it's coming through here. Why is that not going? Yeah, they're talking on the news right now about the new diverging diamond. They put one of these ignorant ass diverging diamond things down at Colonial in 75, and it is just a complicated mess.
At 6559, Plantation Preserve Circle North. Respond on dispatch 3. Engine 61.
Yeah, this diverging diamond is a big mess. It's like they make you cross all the traffic over, and then they make you cross all the traffic back. And now they're doing it to 2 more intersections before we get a chance to try this one out. You ever wonder why they do that? Yeah, because it's too late to say no. We're stuck with these things. Yeah, I think everything's good here, Peggy. Again, just for us here, just a gusty windstorm. I mean a gusty rainstorm. I saw one flash of lightning so far and no thunder. So it's pretty much just a rain event. But it does look impressive on the radar. I just can't believe they never issued any warnings for it. But I guess it didn't need any warnings, right? I mean, I guess that's the bottom line. Wow. We need this rain really bad. I mean, You have no idea. We really, really need this rain. I'm looking at the frog cam over there. I don't see any frogs out, but boy, this is certainly frog weather going on right now. I'll show you guys this shot of downtown. Look at this. It is still pouring like crazy. You can see the rain sheeting across the screen from right to left. You can barely see the red beacon on the Long Lines Tower there on the left. That's normally very bright, and you can barely see it right now. I had no idea this was going to be like this tonight. It's also another thing I've noticed about this. It's taken its sweet ass time. Wow. All right, there we go. There was almost a 25 mile an hour wind gust there, it looked like. Yeah, really good wind gust. Baby, if the window in there was open, the living room would be wet because the wind is coming from the northwest, and it is just blowing. Like, we're getting some pretty good wind gusts now. Heavy rain. And there's still rotation right near downtown, right near where our camera is down there. We're seeing that rotation right near there. Man, I'm getting a heavy rain on the outside now. Wow, baby. Holy shit. Yeah, there was a 25 mile an hour wind gust, babe. Still hasn't been strong enough to hurt anything. Starting to wonder if I should have secured that big old antenna better. Oh, there we go. There was a flash. We just had a lightning flash. Let's see if we see it on the camera here. The camera's delayed by several seconds, so we might actually see it on the camera here in just a second. Strong winds now. Very strong winds coming over. There it was. I just saw it on the tower cam. I'm watching the local TV station, Wink, to see if they, because they're usually right on top of it if there's any damage or anything, and they're in a business as normal pattern right now, which tells me that there probably hasn't been a lot of reports of damage into the newsroom. So we may be good so far. Keeping an eye on that as well. A weird sound, like a growling sound outside. Can I just say I really hate two-party authentication? I'm just gonna put that out there. Wow, man, it is pouring like you wouldn't believe right here. Hey, babe, you should pull up the cameras up there and look at them. It's crazy. All right, so let's see here. I'm trying to get into my account here. so I can see what's going on. I don't know if you guys can hear that over the microphone, but very heavy rain outside. And I want to bring your attention real quick back to here. Downtown still getting their ass handed to them, and still pretty hard to see that beacon on that long lines tower. You can still see it if you look for it. That's about a mile away from the tower site.
At 197.95, Cypresswood Court. We found over South 2, Manic 17, and Rescue 1.
Your son just pulled up. Good luck. Look at the wind on that tower site. Holy shit. Let me go back to that for a minute. This thing was just bouncing around like crazy. Very heavy rain now. Wow. Local news still not covering anything yet, so we're just kind of in a little bit of a watching pattern here. We're going to see what they're going to do. This line is about to move outside of the watch box. Come in, come in. Come in, come in. What's up, dude? I'm live on the air, but it's just like 4 or 5 of us in there. We're covering this weather event. Look at this downtown. Yeah. It's my son-in-law, everybody. Or my stepson. I always say that, and it drives my wife nuts. It's my stepson.
No box, right? I didn't see anything out there.
There was a box. It was for Tito. And it's wrapped in plastic, so it's over there, but
Oh, the one I brought in.
yeah, that one. But that's the only thing I saw. Did they say they dropped it?
No, but it says it was delivered today, and it also said, but the tracking still says it's in Nevada. So, if it,
Oh, babe, it's another good job by the postal people. It says delivered and in Nevada at the same time.
yeah,
Nice job, postal people.
yeah, it's every USPS.
USPS, ugh. The only thing that could make deliveries worth is put the government in charge of it. There, I said it.
I do have a crate coming, like a dog crate, a metal one coming in like probably a week.
Yeah.
I ordered it today. They said they ship out next business day, but it's in Nevada too, so it'll probably take it.
Well, it ain't gonna rain for the next 9 days.
Right.
After this hurricane's over, we're done with the rain. Look at downtown, man. I can't. I can barely see the Long Lines Tower right now. Here, let me pull that up for you guys. Look at that, guys. That's downtown Fort Myers, the Wink webcam, the tower cam, looking west. And you can see that blinking light to the left of center there is the Long Lines Tower. It's 1 mile away from the tower site. And
So there, it's like 3 inches underwater.
I know. It looks like the road's about flooded over out there.
So sudden.
What is this special weather? That's that special weather statement. All right, that line of thunderstorms, guys, is just about to move outside of the watch box here. You can see the light blue box. The dark blue box is the marine warning. And then we've got this here, the special weather statement, and it extends out past 75 here into the beginning parts of Lehigh, out to about just inside of Lehigh. The storm is just about to reach there. Miramar Lakes should be starting to get it now. The Colony down there, Amberwood, the Forum, Veranda, and it's working its way up. It's just about to go out of this. So the National Weather Service quickly is going to have to enter another watch box, or they're going to have to decide to allow it to expire. But man, what a formation on the radar. Look over here on the reflected radar. Remember, this is showing you the volume of rain over here on the left. and there's still some pockets of extremely heavy rain here. You can see right along here, and that's going through Estero right now. The truth is, once this reaches this area, it's fairly unpopulated. So that all is about to move out of a populated area right there. And Fort Myers should be starting to let up soon. You got the line of stronger rain is moving into the West Fort Myers area now, and all that is going to continue to pull off to the east as the storm system comes through. All right, and I'm looking over here now. I'm not seeing a bunch of rotations anymore. There is still some pockets of strong wind here, but notice it's not right up against the red. I'm not really seeing red and green. Maybe there's one exception there, maybe one exception right here, but I'm not seeing a lot of couplets anymore like I was a little while ago. This has definitely lost some of its strength as it's come over land. As you know, storms do that. Over in the morning, in the overnight time, storms tend to get stronger out over water because the water is warmer than the air and it tends to lift. During the day, storms tend to get stronger on land, and that's the difference. I'm sure you guys can hear that rain beating down on the roof here. Wow. All right, man. Have a good one. Wow, right as he walked out, it started really coming down. The poor guy, he's in a raincoat, but it's still, it is coming down out there. Babe, I had no idea we were going to get this kind of storm. This is crazy. We have not had weather like this here in at least 6 months. Very, very, very strong weather coming in right now. Very heavy rain coming in. Let me get this chat up so I can see what you guys are talking about. I wish I had some better, had all the information on this stream. I don't. Hey, Victor, what's up? Victor, we are under an onslaught of local weather here. I'm going to show you guys the live shot from downtown Fort Myers from my work. Look at this looking west. Look at the rain sheeting off those big buildings right there, moving from east to west. Again, that blinking light on the left is the Long Lines Tower over a mile away. You can barely see it. And you can't see the bridges. You have to look really close just to see the two closest spans. You can see a little bit of those new LED lights. But man, it is coming the freak down here. Babe, the waters rose to the point that the bottom of the gate is sitting down in the water. As soon as I can go out and check it, I'm going to go check the pump house. We might be flooded in the pump house. I may have to cut the power off into there. Real quick, I'll just take a snippet of this. This is my buddy Greg Rule from work. Look at this. He's got some rainfall totals you can see coming in there. Well over 2 inches in some areas, already seeing 2 inches. Special thanks to Wink News and Greg Rule. I actually work with these guys. Greg came in and we talked for a few minutes today. He did the news that you heard on the afternoon drive show today. The weather, I should say. Usually it's Matt, sometimes it's Greg. Man, that's something else coming down there. Let's go back to here. Still seeing that very strong line. Very strong line. Wow, babe. I keep hearing things like hitting the outside of the shed. I don't know what's going on. The wind doesn't look that strong. The entire front yard is flooded. If you guys up there, babe, if you have him pull up the camera, the dual camera that's out on the antenna by the road. Have him pull that up, and what you will see is the entire front yard is currently underwater. The swimming pool was about empty in the pool thing. I hadn't done it yet this evening, and it was almost empty. It's almost full now, so that's going to be 2 inches of rain right there. Yeah, I don't know if Car's in here anymore, but I know she'll be back. Wow, man, it looks like it should be ending here, and it's still storming like crazy here. Okay, and that line is now moving outside of the watch box. You guys see that? The line is moving outside the watch box. I hate that new automated dispatch bullshit. All right. There it is. That's downtown Fort Myers looking west from east of town, looking west. Those are all the big buildings along the riverfront. This is the river district. You cannot see the buildings down on the other side of 41. They're completely out of sight right now. I got to go put the pontoons on the shack. Thanks, guys, for coming in and supporting the channel tonight. Man, it's kind of outside radar range a little bit, so let's go. Let's switch this to the Miami radar, and let's take a look at this, because we're moving into another radar area. This is what I'm looking at right here. A suspicious area of stronger rotation right here. That's just north of Bonita Springs. Looks like it's sitting over eastern Estero. This is the Colony, Pelican Landing, all there. It looks like it's already past all that. And where this is heading to, guys, is an area that really, there's no population out here much to speak of. So that's the good news there. That's going to be heading into a... that'll be heading into an area where there is a lot more. Another lightning flash. That's going to be heading into an area where there's not very much population. That's going to be the good news on that. But you can kind of see here, it's wanting to hook up here. Definitely a very heavy rainstorm right here, moving off in this direction. All right, and the rain finally has let up here just a little bit on the shack. It's starting to let up a little bit. And that pan is a little over 2 inches deep, and it's overflowing. So we've definitely gotten in excess of 2 inches in about 45 minutes. There's the new update just came in. Still showing a little couplet out there. It's gonna be it's coming into the Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary. Wow, we just had a really good flash of lightning outside. I'm gonna leave the tower cam up for a second so you can see that. That'll come through there. Oh, and we got thunder. Thunder for the first time tonight. I actually heard the thunder on that one. I'm not sure where it struck. I don't see it. Ooh, there it was on the tower cam. You guys just saw that.
By Accurate Protection at Walmart. All the information that we have is available there.
Row the shack. Yeah, you got that right. I got it strapped down, but one thing I don't have on it is a way to float it up.
Medic 92, go ahead. You go On scene, 2256.
Oh man. Wow, this has been a little crazier than I thought it was going to be tonight. I got to tell you guys. All right, let's check back here again. Again, the left side is reflectivity, the right side's velocity, and the right side shows us the motion of the rain. The left side shows us the quantity of the rain. And you can see, I'm going to show you guys. I mean, I don't think it's anything that's going to be on the ground, but there's your J hook right there, and there's your couplet right there. I mean, I see it. It's moving off to the northeast like this. Now let's do something here. Let's go back out to the single view. All right, and we're going to take this and we're going to see, is this going to affect anybody coming up? And we're right here. We're moving off in this direction, and probably at about 25 or so miles an hour. And look, there's just not much out there. Immokalee in 43 minutes and Felda in 51 minutes. There's just not a lot out in front of this thing. And that's pretty much it. We got a bit of a scrimmage line setting up here, meteorologists refer to this as a bow echo sometimes, where you'll get, stop drawing, you'll get this bow echo that comes out in front like this. And what you find with these is the winds will be very strong straight line winds coming in the direction that it's moving like that. And I'm starting to see a bit of it. I saw this earlier when it was coming in offshore, and now I see it again. This is more indicative of straight line winds and less indicative of a tornado. That's good. And we're starting to see a lot more lightning here now. 2 more flashes and more thunder now. This is a little rare in Florida.
Engine 131.
Hold on.
Electrical hazard. At 9900. Vandal Lane. Responder dispatch 2. Engine 131.
Electrical hazard, that's going to be a power lines call. That's 131, that's Bayshore. So it's hitting out there right now. Some of the heaviest of it's actually moving into Alva now. And Labelle and Immokalee, you are next up. Lehigh's getting its ass handed to him right now. It goes right, it stripes right through the middle of Lehigh right now. And let's get the split view back up. And you can see there in Lehigh, we do have what looks like some broad rotation there in Lehigh. Not a couplet for sure, but broad rotation. This looks a little more suspicious down here, but this is that. This is one of the 2 we were watching earlier.
Truck 74. Fire alarm. At southwest of Smith Homes. 6308. Panther Lane. Responder dispatch 3. Truck 74.
Okay, that's Panther Lane. I believe that's going to be Iona. Yep, and there we go. More lightning. Not sure, that one didn't look quite as close as the last couple. Nope. Wow, here we go.
Minute 22. Motor vehicle collision.
Nope.
At southeast 22nd Terrace and Alpana Boulevard South.
I almost think that lightning, that thunder's from different the earlier lightning. Wow, and there it was on the tower cam. All right, so let's go back to the radar here, and again, we're looking. You start to see that bow echo setting up there. There's a real good chance here that you're going to see some pretty nasty weather as this moves through Immokalee here in about 40 minutes. I think this is going to be some pretty shitty weather here. Let's see how long we're looking here for Immokalee. And I'm guessing on the wind, some storms are showing 20, 25 miles an hour. So Immokalee, you're within 30 minutes. Immokalee, you're going to be seeing some Some pretty nasty rain coming and squally winds as this front comes in there. And then, of course, we've got to watch this one spot here that looks like it, again, trying to hook up. We've got this, your J hook there, and we've got your couplet here. And again, this is that one we've been watching. It's moving off towards Immokalee at this point. Matter of fact, this one's moving directly towards Immokalee at this point. I'll put this on it and I'll draw it. Look at that. It's going to pass off just to the south of Immokalee, according to this. And again, now it's this is a little further out. Immokalee 48 minutes, Ave Maria 43 minutes, Harker 57. There's just not a lot out here, thank God. But for those of you who are out there, you need to be ready for that one. All right, and there we go. Downtown starting to slowly clear here as the center of the storm moves by. Not only can you now see the three bridges again, but you can see Cape Coral in the distance. That's actually my mom's neighborhood there, just beyond that building on the right. Those little lights you see, that's over towards Lockmore and over in that area in North Fort Myers. And then, boom, there we go. The light on the Long Lines Tower is bright as ever now, and you can see it really well. Looks like we might have some emergency vehicles coming up Palm Beach Boulevard down there. I don't know, Victor. I'm going to go check. I think we probably were in the 20 to 25 range here. But believe it or not, the device that tells us what our weather station is doing is in the house, and I'm not going to go get soaked to go look at it. So, but I will. I'll let you guys know where we are on this next time we all get together. I'll let you know what we ended up with. I think we're going to be probably around 25 miles an hour. Now, the rain I'm going to be interested in. I have a funny feeling that we possibly are looking at about 3 inches of rain here. It's been a while since I've seen the front yard fill up with water. Now, that being said, it's all soaked in already. The ground soaked it up. The puddles in the road are back down. We got a dirt road on one side of our house and a paved road on the other. The dirt road was completely covered across almost, and now it's just down into the big puddles again. So the ground is soaking it up very, very fast, and I think that's the bottom line. All right, Peggy, have a good night. I'm just about to sign off here myself. No, the roads roll up pretty quick around here, meaning that, by 9 or 10 o'clock, everybody's pretty much in. This is not a college town. And of course, it's not a weekend. So if you went out there right now after all this rain and everything, you pretty much have the roads almost to yourself. I see a few cars moving up and down Palm Beach Boulevard down there, but most of that, what you're seeing is not even cars. It's actually just the squinting of the light through all the water on the lens. There's a few cars up on the bridge, but those bridges they're busy all the time. And they're not even that busy. All right, let's see. I guess that's about it. Victor, Peggy, thank you, everybody, for coming in. This is Starship Adventures with some very impromptu emergency coverage tonight of the passage of this storm system through southwest Florida. And, boy, we have seen it tonight, I got to tell you. But it is over now. We're still getting some pretty good lightning. Did you guys see that? Wow. And the thunder from that is coming in right now. And there you go. If you guys go over to winknews.com, that's winknews.com. The coverage continues there. Greg Rule's on right now covering this. And he's looking at the future track, which has it pretty much pulling completely out of the area by midnight. So it's kind of what I'm figuring here as well. So thank you, everybody, for coming in. Again, live coverage from the Starship Studios of the area around the Starship Studios as we've gotten hit by a pretty good storm tonight. No warnings or watches for tornadoes or severe thunderstorms, but still it was a pretty powerful storm that came through. Anyway, very interesting. Thanks for everybody that came in. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures. I hope to see you guys on our next adventure maybe down the log. We'll catch you next time. 7-3s. Have a good night, everybody.